What's up fams, Lenny's here from Allclouded, and in today's video we've got first impressions, a dive down and a look at this new mod that's on the market, the new ARAMAX POWER. So first I have to do a shout out to Hawke's Bay Vapor for providing us with this mod today so we can do a review and a first look and also like a setup guide for anybody that's interested in it, and they've also provided us with an extra one for a giveaway, so I have to do a massive shout out to Hawke's Bay Vapor. Also I'll put a link down in the description if you have picked one up and you're looking for coils and restocking, and also if you're looking for picking one up in general. And I know this is the first batch as such that's come out on the market, so the next batch comes out in a few weeks or so, and I know that they're selling out stupidly fast, so you have to be fast to go and pick one up. And if they are all sold out across the country, then you know that at least you have a chance to get one in a giveaway today. So ARAMAX is an Italian owned company based out of China, and from what I understand is their niche in the market is leaning, or it's more focused towards the starter kit range. I think they really stay true to that basic but effective feel of a device, and it's really simple to use, it's extremely user friendly, and they even explain in the instructions about 4 or 5 times on how to set it up with your coils and stuff, so it's really more or less dumbed down, but we'll show you when we get in the up and close. Now I'd consider this device somewhere between starter and intermediate. It kind of fits in the little grey area in between. The same category that I'll put a V8 stick or I'll put a Veco one, and it's not really because they all look the same as an AIO, it's because they're all sub-ohm kits and they can punch good clouds, good flavour, but they're not quite variable wattage and they're not quite mouth to lung or a little tiny sub-ohm kit. They're kind of just in a grey area in between. So let's take it down, I'll show you the mod, we'll come back up, we'll see my thoughts, and we'll also talk about this giveaway today. So here is the new power device from ARAMAX. 5000 mAh, 55 watts, website, normal stuff on the side. Now this is what I really like about the packaging. Mine's obviously torn because I'm useless and a rough follower, but basically shows you how to set the coil up. Says that just put the coil in, fill it up, leave it for 3 minutes, bit of information on charging, how to lock the device, and it also comes in with the explanation on each diagram that's on the side and your general contents. So now we open the box up, get that out of the way. Once again, so this is the second time that they've actually shown the information on how to set it up, and there's just a bit more detail on what the lights indicate, you know, a bit of safety features like you can't go over 10 seconds, short circuit protection, you know. This is all a massive bonus to me when it comes to the packaging and stuff, because they're clearly stating, or they're really just dumbing it down for the generic public or people that are new to vaporizers and devices, you know, really how to set them up in that. You know, I think this is a massive pro for the packaging. Now inside the box we've got the user guide, all different languages, bit more detail with the pictures, and it also is numbered in your language of the full breakdown. States that it is a 1 amp charging 5000 mAh battery. The standard coil that comes out is a 0.14 stainless steel dual coil. Now in the box you'll receive 2 coils. Obviously I've used one. These are the 0.14 ohms. Once again, instructions again, you know, I absolutely love it about this company. Try to get it to focus. Absolutely love it about this company that they have put in multiple instructions. So, you know, if you miss it the first time, miss it the second, third, fourth, you don't read the manual, you know, at least before you put the coil in, they're going to at least show you some stuff. So, you know, that's a massive pro. So let's open this coil up, have a look. Four teardrop wicking slots, massive hole underneath. You can see the wires coming down. You also get a vape band. Now this is a massive pro. With a tank and a mod that's 28 mils wide, you would find it very hard to find vape bands, so a massive thumbs up from the company. You also get the USB charger. In here you get an adapter, and I'll show you that in a minute and why you need an adapter, a little tool. You also get a baggie of extra O-rings. And here's the new ARAMAX Power. Now this is 28mm, it's 158mm tall right up to the drip tip. And I'm going to show you guys this tank. Now when you pull it out of the box, just make sure you be careful because this top cap is only just sitting on top of the tank, so you don't want to lose it or break it right off the bat. We'll get to the mod in a minute, but first I will just start with the tank. So this is the provider tank that comes with the powered device. Now this is proprietary to the actual mod because the way that it's set up, it's not like anything we're used to. The coil sits in here and it's going to directly attach to the mod. I'll show you that in a minute. So we'll start with this top cap. So here's obviously the design. This will stop the juice from coming out. You know, we got massive air slots. And here's the drip tip. Now this is a proprietary drip tip. It just sits on side like there. And there's little grooves in here so you know that you're getting it on properly. And it's a decent size. I'm normally used to 810, so you know, for the generic market, yeah, it's probably the perfect size. You can actually fit 510s just inside there, but not every 510 fits, and it's got a bit of this knurling on here. Now this top cap right here, it won't actually sit on top unless a coil's inside. Now if you look down there, you will see the massive chimney slot. There's the airflow slot right there. It's absolutely massive, feeding these tubes. You can't really see, I don't know how much it's going to come up, but there's massive cutouts right here, and there's also the one down there, but these two right here are absolutely massive. And I think the way that they've designed it like that is in case if you close the airflow like that, the tubes that are taking in the most air, they'll just be a bit more effective if you're cutting the airflow down. That's the only reason why I can see it. It's a 5mm tank, but to be TPD compliant, it's only a 2mm tank. And this glass tank section right here, this comes straight off that way. Obviously can't come up that way, there's a bit of a lip stopping it, and it's a huge piece of glass, and it will go right down, and basically it's got 3 O-rings here to stop the juice from leaking. So I'll show you how we chuck a coil in. We'll get this thing set up. So here's the coil here. It's got a square shape similar to like a T18 or a T20, and you know, a lot of people get this wrong, but basically it's just going to fit right there, snug as, and it's just going to sit there. And now you can see that there's the top, and this is what actually locks the lid down in place, and this is what kicks in the child-proof lock that they've got on top. And the knurling that's on top to help with spinning the airflow, I think it's not really focused too much on the airflow because it is a full 360 spin in that. I think it's actually more for the locking device. So you just kind of find where it slots in, and then you wind it right down. And then that's basically it, and then that's how you'll see that the air comes out through the chute up, you know, and towards the vapor. So I'm actually going to do what they suggest to do, and I'm not actually going to prime the coil. I'm actually just going to fill it up, and you know, there's not too much cotton in there. They're not the massivest coils, you know, not compared to the coils that are on the market these days. So I'm actually quite comfortable because I feel like there's not that much cotton in there that it's going to take too long for it to fill up. So today I'm going to be vaping on the fuzz from Irresistible e-liquids. I'll put a link down in the description if you are after it, and I really enjoy this stuff. So we'll just fill her up and we'll put it aside while we look at the mod. So it is only a 2mm tank to be TPD compliant. I wish there was a bigger tank, but it is what it is, fam. We'll just let that soak in. And here's the actual device itself. It's got the little power over there. It's a really nice texture on the hand. Button's a good click. Obviously, say no atomizer. We've got 5 clicks on. That's off. 5 clicks on. No atomizer. It's going to flash red, you know, obviously if there's no atomizer, but it's going to flash red, or when you use it, it's going to glow red when it's below 30%, and it's going to glow white LED when it's above 30%. So, you know, in the red, it's a danger zone, but it's a 5000 mAh battery, feels really nice on the hand, got a bit of the power, bit of engraving down the bottom. The charge port's up here, USB, standard USB. Now this is the interesting part on the tank and the design that they went for. Now this pin right here, this is solid, this doesn't move at all. There's no spring or anything inside. Now, when looking at this mod, I assume it's a 26650 because of the 5000 mAh that they rated at. I don't know any 18650 or actually any 2700 that come out with 5000 mAh. So the best bet is that it's somewhere like a 26650 or something like that. So it comes out with short circuit protection, you know, all the bells and whistles that we expect from 2017. And I contacted the tech team about adding different addies and the quality of vape. You know, basically I was asking that the 55 watt setting that that they have on the box in that. I was interested in if the actual mod was set at 55 watts. So I wanted to know if I put a different tank on using this adapter, if it's going to affect it in any way. I'm not too worried about lower builds. I'm more worried about higher ohm mouth to lung builds. You know, I don't know anybody would want to actually put something like that on there, but you know, it's good to know just in case. Now, talking to the technical team, they say they have like a bucking system. You know, once a volts gets to a certain amount, it's going to step it down, and it's just really going to regulate that way. So they basically said to me that the 55 watt is rated for their coil and tank combo when on this mod. You know, they said that there is a pressure release valve, so if you put a build on, or if you have a lower ohm resistance coil inside, then it's going to adjust accordingly, and the volt setting is just going to sit there. So I actually put a mouth to lung tank on it, and it hit a whole lot softer than my actual T20, and then I put some of my builds on there, and I actually really enjoy using this mod with my own tanks and that. Now, I don't really have anything that can fit 28mm, but at the end of the day, it still feels nice in the hand, and it's a whole lot stealthier than most of my 2 battery mods, but it's got 5000 mAh as well. So I got this little tool there. You know, it's pretty basic. I'm pretty sure you guys will get it. Now, they say to just put it on there, screw it down, but what I've found is because that pin down the middle is not spring loaded, I've actually found that actually screwing on a tank first, right down, and then screwing it onto the mod, I found that that actually works the best. So that's it with a 25mm. So you can see it's got a bit of underhang. Show you guys something else. I've actually got a review of this coming up and a giveaway for this thermo, so definitely stay tuned for that. So we'll take this off, and what we'll do is we'll jump back up top. I'll give you guys my final thoughts, and we'll talk about this giveaway today, fam. So that was the new ARAMAX Power device. Now, I can't do a full review because I haven't owned it for a while, like a month or something. I've only owned it for a few days, but I picked up on a few things that I'd like to share with you guys today. Firstly, I would give ARAMAX a massive thumbs up all round if they would provide an extra glass tank, or at least provide in the new packaging that's coming out in production, just an extra vape ban, because the glass, you guys all seen it, it's absolutely massive, and what we don't want is someone to drop it and crack it, and I really feel that maybe one vape ban isn't quite enough to protect the whole glass. And lastly, when it comes to packaging, I really consider that this box and the instructions and everything it comes with, you saw it multiple times, it shows you how to set up the device. I consider this about 99% foolproof. You know, it's basically anybody will know how to set it up because it shows you multiple times through the unpackaging process. You know, even if you don't read the manual, you pop the coil, you have to see everything. Anyways, to get that full 100%, what I like to see from ARAMAX is on all the visual instructions, not just in the manual, I'd like them to clearly state 1 amp charging. Now, in this day and age that we live in, almost every phone's coming out with fast charging. There's new mods coming on the market with fast charging, so it's a really hard part for vendors and for everybody to explain to people on what chargers to use in that, and I wish that if it was just more clearly stated all across the board, I'd really give it a double thumbs up, and it'll be 100% foolproof in my books. And now the airflow, you get a ton of airflow. Now, personally, I love a lot of airflow. I'm an airflow hog. I like everything wide open, and I hate it when an Addy or a tank is too restrictive, or at least doesn't give me the option to open the air right up. And I also feel that if they're targeting the starter, moving into intermediate, or maybe people pick it up as the first device, I think it's a good unit to help people to learn to direct lung, because it's not so hard to explain to them how to just lung hit it, because the airflow can really accommodate in it, and you don't have to tell them like suck it really hard or anything like that. So I definitely think they nailed it on the airflow, and you can always turn it down if maybe that's not really your thing. Now, next I like to talk about the coil. The way that they explain for you to set it up is just put the coil inside and just fill the tank up with juice. Now, I've done this and I kept looking down the chimney and it worked really fast. So I think for the most part, I always tell people to prime their coils regardless, but when looking at top airflow tanks, it's a bit hard to tell people to do that because you don't know if they're going to over prime it in that. And I mean, it does work. I mean, if you want to prime it yourself, yourself, then, you know, feel more than welcome, but just be aware that you don't over flood it. And the coil seems to be lasting. I've been absolutely hammering it for about 4 days and it's still alive, and it doesn't really show any massive signs of degrading in there, so it's definitely going to keep up for longer than 4 days. I mean, you know, I like to give you guys more of a thoughts after a week or something like that, and especially going to work when you just absolutely hammer it on your smoko brakes and that. So just keep that in mind, that it's extremely user friendly when it comes to just putting the coil in and just filling the tank up and giving it a few minutes to set. And of course, as a pro, you would have to say the 5000 mAh battery. Now this alone and the sheer size of this mod, it staunches out all the competition. I haven't really seen any other mods that are coming out as these AIO kits that are around 5000 mAh, so that's definitely a pro, and it really singles it out from all the other kits that are similar in the step up category, and it's user friendly and it's not too overwhelming for them to use. So I definitely think that this singles it out from all the other competition and all the other mods that are on the market. And I like it how they included an adapter in the kit. Now this is how I personally like using the mod. I like chucking a lower build on it, somewhere around 0.1 to 0.12, and that seems to be my sweet spot. You know, plenty of warmth for me, and also the battery lasts forever because of the amount of volts that this mod is set at. I just feel like that's a whole lot better for me. You know, I just take the underhang on the chin and I just use the mod for what it is. And finally, when it comes to this device, I'd like to say that the packaging is a massive pro. The quality of the packaging is what you expect for a kit that's in this price range and that, but I'm really talking about the instructions, the amount of times that they have repeated the instructions. They also have a pictures and the breakdown of what they're actually doing in the pictures and that. So I think this is a massive pro, and it's definitely 99% foolproof. I would just like to say once again, ARAMAX, please put 1 amp in the diagrams and that, just so I can really consider it 100% foolproof. So now a chance for the giveaway today. This is for New Zealand only. I am sorry for anybody overseas, but I can't afford to ship it to America or Russia or anything like that. So what you need to do, go to the link down in the description, go onto our Facebook page where I'll post this video, and I want you to go into the comment section. All you need to do is just hashtag ARAMAX POWER. So just go over to our Facebook page, which is down in the description. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Snapchat, obviously Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And with that being said, keep it cloudy, fam.